They started building the church in Olney in the 13th century, and ever since the townsfolk have said their prayers and sung their praises to the Almighty. But for the last 250 years, one hymn has been sung more than most.
Sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Amazing Grace was composed in Olney by local parson John Newton. He was a former slave trader who found God when he narrowly escaped being shipwrecked in the early years of the 18th century. John Newton had a passion for the pulpit and the pen, well, quill actually. His neighbour was the poet and author William Cowper. The local museum reflects their works and their world.
And this is a portrait of Newton's great friend William Cowper, the poet, who lived in this house for some 18 years.
Now what on earth is this?
This is an 18th century electro-static machine, obviously used to generate electricity. It was used for medical reasons. Newton used it on Cowper to try and alleviate his mental condition without any noticeable effect. And many years later, Cowper used it on Mrs. Unwin, his friend, when she suffered a partial stroke.
Cowper had many other special companions, and they were all hares. His hares roamed freely throughout his house. Did Cowper and Newton write as a team or as individuals?
They wrote individually some 300 hymns, but they obviously discussed what they were going to write about at their daily meetings in the summer house, which is through here in the garden.
So this was Cowper and Newton's boardroom?
Yes, you could say that. Newton lived just beyond those trees there in the old vicarage, and they probably met on a daily basis.
Now what about this floorboard?
The story goes that's where Newton hid his pipes and his tobacco, wrapped up in an oilcloth. But Cowper, being a gentleman, took snuff.
Just as Newmarket is the home of horse racing, Olney is the home of pancake racing, and the competitors take it all very seriously.
This has been going since 1445, so the tradition has it, when this lady ran out of her house being dragged to the church by the shriving bell, which is the Lenten feast day, and she was putting all her fats and sugars and things in the frying pan and rushed to the church to get there on time, tossing her pancake, and that really is where it all started.
Amazing Grace has sold in its millions and even appeared on Top of the Pops, but surely there's no better setting for John Newton's amazing hymn than here, where it all began in North Buckinghamshire.
Grace appear, the